Meanwhile, back here at Lord's for a Royal London 50 over one-day final. We're halfway through it. Hampshire, well, they got up to 244 for 8. Somerset need 255. It looks to be a good pitch. 245 seems very gettable, but you never know. I want to watch this lad. Hearing great words about Tom Banton. Very confident. Look at Fidel. He's just had a word there, Fidel Edwards, with that young lad. 37 years of age. Look at him bowling nearly 90 miles an hour. I don't believe it. What do you think, Ebony? 244.
Yeah, left a lot of runs out there today. I think it's exciting for Tom Banton. 20 years of age, like you say, to be in a final at that age, sun shining at Lord's, possibly the last final at Lord's. Hey, the emotions have got to be going, right? And then you've got an experienced pro who could be cranking it up. We saw him only a week or so ago in the semi, bowling up to 90 miles an hour. So this will be fun for the young lad.
2 slips. Fidel's in the mood here. Huge appeal, it's sliding down the leg side. Umpire moves away.
That's a good option first up, isn't it? It's gone right in the block hole, just tailed away at the last moment.
He's having a real go at Tom Banton here. You'll be itching. Tom Banton will be itching to say to him, "You still playing, mate? I bet you used to be quick when you were younger." Best to keep quiet. Do you know, I'm not sure I could. Let's have a look. What's he coming in at? 2 deliveries, Fidel. Not registered yet.
He's definitely got pace about him. In that, he bowled a bouncer down at the Rose Bowl. 80. I think he got hit for a 4 and followed up with one of those slippery numbers. So he still got it.
Big appeal, it's sliding down the leg side again. Hampshire are ticking.
A little bit better, that one, just a fraction straighter. Still with the angle he comes from. Just tailing.
Well, rock and roll this, 37 years of age, and he's just up there at 88 miles an hour. Good on him. Now it's sliding down.
Well, Fidel Edwards on a red ball contract at the moment for Hampshire. Maybe a few injuries caused him to be brought in, came in that semi-final game. So this will be a big moment to be part of a final. Bonus to the year for him.
When you just got 244 and you've got a quick bowler like this, 88 miles an hour, you've got to get wickets. I just wonder if there's a thought, it's regulation, 2 slips, get another catcher in. Just give the batting side a signal, we're going to bowl you out. and slide away. I think it's leg byes. Oh, he's got a tickle on it, 4. Four without loss. He's just asking her about the LBs. They're sliding down. They are the sliders. Good appeals. It's a good attack. Edwards and Kyle Abbott now.
Kyle Abbott, been reliable for Hampshire, leading their wickets. 20 wickets this year. It's been in, I think he signed on a 4-year contract. Last year missed the final due to injury, unfortunately, but I think he'll be delighted to be here today. Can he use his experience to just change the dynamic?
Kyle Abbott in 9 matches. Royal London One Day Cup this year. How many wickets? 20. Craig Overton, who we've seen, 20. Who's top of the pile? Saki Mahmood, 28 wickets. Solid push from Azhar Ali.
This is one of those games as a batter, especially with the experience of Azhar Ali, you come out knowing small score to chase down. It's just really about finding your timing, still a good surface to work with. Just be looking to get timing, bat on ball. Yeah, I haven't seen much of Banton, but I've seen the social media talk. Michael Vaughan has talked him up as the upcoming KP kind of player. I know that he's got a couple of centuries this year, 200s, 250s, 11 matches. That's a pretty good conversion rate. Someone, I understand, has a 360 game, so I think we're looking forward to seeing if he can get a little platform today, show some of his skills.
Bit high. Plenty of appeals, no success. After 2 overs, 7 without loss.
Yeah, just going with the slope here, bowling from the pavilion end. Seam just continuing down. A little bit too high. Maybe squeeze the bat as well at the same time. Good first over. apart from that early wide. Impact just above the knee roll, but he's a tall man, Kyle Abbott.
Helped on its way. Two-leg side, he's going to move a slip out after that delivery.
I just wonder if it's worth Edwards thinking about coming a little wider of the crease, because he has tailed down with that pace over 90 miles an hour, that delivery. Easy to just help on its way. Just need to start the ball maybe a fraction wider outside off stump. If the ball continues to tail in.
In the air, short boundary, it's gone for 6.
I'll tell you what, his wrists were very quick there. Another sharp delivery. Chris Wood, the fielder on delivery. Let's hope someone isn't hurt down there. Picked it up very quickly, just helped it on its way. Went the full distance.
Beautiful. I hear what you're saying, he can play. There's some good young players about. Banton, Crawley at Kent. 92 miles an hour this, game on.
Yeah, it makes it look easy, doesn't it? Drifting down, but he gets the hands out in front and then just whips it. Excellent timing. A little bit of flourish at the back end of the shot. Oh, pain for the bowler, already 14 runs.
Oh, he'll go again. Straight to the fielder. Oh, it's a good contest, is this? Couple of balls ago, just look at this. He'll get the right angle. Kevin Peterson.
Yeah, well, there's the talk on the town. You can see it. That flourish. 20 years of age. Just hit 464 in the final. Still plenty more batting to come.
Oh, huge appeal this time, not out, inside edge. Woo! 22 without loss.
Oh, that's got to hurt. It's got to be a bit of bat in there. Got it fuller, straighter. Again, another quick one. Brought him forward, but big inside edge. Frustration.
Well, it's a different game when you've got some pace. He's steaming in, Fidel Edwards, but Banton played some wonderful shots. Look at these classy boundaries.
It's just the hands, isn't it? Really good hands. Lets the ball come and then very quick through it, but this was the one. An bit of style at the back end. Talent. He's got quite a simple setup as well, just a little small trigger. Just this tiny shuffle across, just to get some momentum into his sort of batting stride. Very balanced. Just look, just a tiny shuffle, but good head position, looking straight down.
I like this.
I don't think you need to say much more than that. That is as sweet as it comes. Right now he's had balls bowled all around, plenty on the leg side, now offered width. Excellent extension. Some thinking to be done here. Both senior bowlers under the pump.
We've had a request that there's a famous, or a character who supports Somerset, goes by the name of Tractor. Is he there? Well, I mean, how do I know if he's here? I'll have a look round the crowd, just hang on. The bloke, he hadn't even told us what he looks like, this bloke, Tractor. Does anybody know who Tractor is?
Is that him?
No, I don't think that's him. Through the gap, down the hill. This will run away. Long boundary, should be 3, easy. 4 overs, 30 without loss.
Oh, so much firepower for Somerset. Much deeper batting lineup. Peter Trigo, James Hildreth, Tom Abel. Bats much deeper. Nearly 4 of these batters around the 400-run mark so far this year.
Who Tractor? Somerset fan, that Tractor? Who's Tractor? Come in, Tractor. Now then, now then. Oh, 4 more. Somerset on the charge here.
Easy as you like. Just a push. Good wicket. Coming on nicely. So I've had a bit of inside information about Tractor.
Go on.
It's apparently very easy to spot. Normally leaning against a scoreboard, wearing a floppy hat and drinking cider.
That narrows it down to about 6,000.
What could you lean against at Lord's?
I don't think he'll be in there. More runs, 4 more.
Well, not a good day here for Edwards. 27 runs already taken off him. 7 boundaries. Just continuing to bowl. Ball down that leg side. If you're in touch, it's easy to put those away. Chris Wood has had to work hard. All slips are gone now. As much protection as possible. Moved into the inner ring.
Oh, this is 4 more. Lines angled towards leg stump at 90 miles an hour. It's help yourself.
Yeah, it's one of these things where you need your bowlers to adjust, especially someone with the experience of Edwards. He's making the same mistake continually. What about four-siders? Is that a giveaway?
No, that's not Tractor. I've got some more information as well. He wears a kilt, a tam o' shanter hat. Where are you, Tractor? That's a better line. Get it out there. Found a picture of Tractor. There he is. This is the Tractor, that's him.
That's a good look.
.42 without loss.
Well, still on the hunt. Maybe he's in the bar. We haven't seen him for a while.
Well, he's definitely got the look, hasn't he? A tam o' shanter hat, the kilt. Longest boundary should be retrieved for a couple. There's quite a number in that tavern stand, but there's areas that are closed off. No spectators in there. It's about half full today. In the air, gets lucky, I think, and lobbed over. Offside field, just a single.
Yeah, I think the thing that worked for him there, just literally throwing the hands at it. When you commit to the shot, sometimes you get a bit of luck. On the move, but gets away with this one.
Oh, well played. Lovely timing. This will run down the hill. It's a fast outfield.
Yeah, classy shot, this one. Again, just lets the ball come to him and then opens up that mid-wicket region. Using the pace. Decent one from Abbott, pushing 87 miles an hour, just helping it down the slope. Still very good wicket today. Ball is coming on nicely. With the sun just helping it get better throughout the day.
No.
He should enjoy his time down at Somerset, Azhar Ali. Wonderful place to play cricket. They've had some wonderful overseas players. Viv Richards, I'm talking about batsmen. Jimmy Cook, Martin Crowe. Sunil Gavaskar, of course, 49 without loss. Greg Chappell, young Greg Chappell, overseas batsman.
Change your bowling. Left arm over the wicket to you, Tom.
Well, it needed a change. 6 overs, 49 without loss. 8 fours and 1 6. A change of angle with Chris Wood coming into the attack.
Hasn't played for a month in the competition. Injury. I think he played a few games early on in the season. Again, he's been part of Hampshire for a long time.
Well, he needed a change. Got off to a flyer with the pace. Pace is right up there from Fidel Edwards, but if it's misdirected leg side, they've really cashed in, these two opening batsmen. A quick 50 for Somerset.
Well, the fans will be delighted. First half of the game done, restricting to a good score, and now your openers brought up 50, just a 7th over.
I'm liking him more and more, Tom Banton. Just a handshake there. 20 years of age, handshake. It's usually a glove punch, isn't it?
What about the bat tap? I'm a fan of the bat tap.
Bum jump, when they jump up.
Yeah.
Nice handshake there.
Do yourself an injury on the jump, though, couldn't you?
Beats backward point. Yeah, take him on, take the throw on. Batsmen nearly bump into each other, but they get 2.
Important to just make sure that when the 2s are available, you take them. A little bit of communication in terms of running into each other. However, they are keeping the scoreboard ticking nicely. Glorious day here at Lord's.
Graceful shot. Ends the 7th over. Boundaries are flowing. It's 56 without loss. Going at 8 and over Somerset. Change up here, see if we can get a wicket. Rob Key might butcher.
Thanks, Bumble. What a start for Somerset. The openers have absolutely piled in. One thing's for sure, Hampshire came out into the field with their blood up, as it would be. They feel that they've got to bowl Somerset out right from the very first over that Fidel Edwards bowled. It was clear what he was trying to do. And 2 slips in. He was trying to catch Tom Banton on the crease, bowling it fast and full at his stumps. Banton narrowly avoided being nailed in front in the first couple of deliveries, and after that it's all been Somerset.
Just a classic case, really. They feel they're under par. They've been revved up in the dressing room and they've just tried far too hard. Look at the way that Abbott is running in. At some stage, he's been around 87 miles per hour. What you need to do, you get nothing in sport for trying hard. It's not about being a try-hard. It is about being good and hitting a line and length and being relentless in that and controlling your emotions. Run in, tried to break the speed gun, both of them. Fidel in particular, and they've just sprayed it everywhere. Get back to a decent line and length. Give the captain a field or a line and length that he can set a field to.
Oh, Tom Banton getting expansive. Which is not to say he can't pull it off, but it's unnecessary right now, you would feel.
It's an old-fashioned attitude these days, Butch. It's the way that they play. It's just they get going, and you're absolutely right. You just think, well, you got all the shots in the book. You don't need to go to that. They just see it very differently.
Just do that instead. Scorching the turf once again from the bat of Banton.
Not too much wrong with that. That is just an excellent shot. That little step across, just like Peterson, and then the lovely hands the same. He is a serious talent, is Banton. Not often you talk people up as well, and then it's not often that they deliver on the day. So far, well, we're seeing what everyone's saying about him.
The key, really, watch Fidel Edwards. He went full early at Banton. In the first couple of deliveries, a couple of shouts for LBW, and then just persisted with that line. The ball drifting in towards leg stump. Banton just got his range and started to thump him to the boundary. There was nothing outside the line of off stump, threatening off stump on a length. And that's up and over as well. Just manages to get away with it. A little bit high on the bat, perhaps. But it's another good over for Somerset. 62 for none.
That just shows you how badly they bowl. Fidel in particular. I mean, we're going on about Tom Banton, how good he is, but look at the deliveries that he's been facing. Yes, you've got to put them away. Leg stump half volley after leg stump half volley. It doesn't matter if you bowl 88 miles per hour. You're going to get panned, and as well, that was to the short boundary. I did think that I would have gone the other way as well. I would have given Abbott the end of the short boundary on the leg side and just told him to hold a line and length, try and nip it away down the slope. Give Fidel the bigger boundary on the leg side so he could use a bouncer. Can't feel. We saw one ball that Banton flicked. Wasn't that short, just a little bit short, and he hit it for 6 to the short boundary. Wouldn't have even carried to the sweeper the other way.
I mean, that was a great shot, wasn't it? That was a great shot. Back of the length ball, 6 over square leg. Sometimes as a bowler, you've just got to doff your cap and say, well played, but can't help but think he was basically given range practice on the leg stump half volley, which he proved that he could put away unerringly. That is a magnificent shot. Anytime, any place, anywhere. We got a glimpse of him before the rest of the world, or the rest of the country anyway, didn't we, in the Under-19 World Cup. Made a century in the last game that England played out there. I think it was like a playoff for 7th or 8th or something. England had been knocked out by Australia. Undone by a leg spin against Australia in the previous match, and Banton made 100, scintillating 100. He and Harry Brook were the 2 young players that stood out for us then, weren't they?
Yeah, you just saw something, didn't you? Just see an element of time and then just that little bit of natural flair. That is what he has.
Conditions change much since this morning, do you think?
Yeah, the sun is out now, and generally here it generally plays better when the sun is out. I thought it was a tough decision at the toss. Walked out, saw a tinge of green and then a dry surface underneath. Did a thing. It's easy. It's just easy after the event. Did a thing though before on Sky Digital where it just said, I looked to have a bowl here purely because I felt that actually it was going to do something. It wasn't about having a bowl because you felt you could chase anything. It just looked like there might be something in it early on.
Yeah, and that little bit of something was exploited beautifully by Josh Davey initially. Oh, bit of something there for Wood too. Maiden over. 62 for none. Smiles on Somerset fans' faces. Might be 1 or 2 the same colour as their shirts at the end of the day. Did wonder whether or not this team might be the start of an era for the West Country County. At the moment, they're making strides to bag that first elusive trophy.
Yeah, after 10 years as well. 10 runners-up in the last 10 years across all competitions. Sometimes 3 runners-up places, whether it was the Blast, the CB40, as it used to be. Remember that competition? That was quite good fun. The CB40 and the championship in 1 year. Can they get over the line? You think that's the only thing that's going to trip them up now. Just that pressure. When you haven't been over the line, when you've fallen short at the last hurdle on so many occasions. Well, it's an open goal at the moment. Can they finish it? There you go. Have a look at 2010. Runners-up in the county championship, the CB40 and the T20. 2011, runners-up in 2 competitions. Then the championship, they've come close on a number of occasions.
No.
I suppose you'd have had the consolation of all that bonus money in, what was it, 2010?
Yeah, but no one cares, do they? No one cares about second place.
No.
It's all about getting over the line, all about the trophy at the end of it all. Say the two in the middle there, Trigo and Hildreth, have probably been involved in all of those.
Yeah, you had a go at me for my grey hairs this morning. I'll give you a few if you come second all the time.
Okay.
What did you call him at the top of the show, Trigo? The tattooed Tonka.
Tattoo Tonka from Taunton. He's always at pains to point out that he's from Western Supermare, so that's completely useless.
Isn't that Broadchurch country?
Don't go out at night there. Still a tiny bit there. If you can settle on a line and length, if the batsman will let you settle on a line and length.
Wait for no.
Power play over and done with. First blood to Somerset. 64 for none.
Turnover's gone, 64.
Well, a chance to admire some of the skill of young Tom Banton and Azhar Ali at the other end as well. And also to have a look at some of the dross that's been bowled at times by poor Fidel Edwards, who just tried too hard. Same Kyle Abbott, actually. A couple of excellent shots, but they steamed in. They came charging in, trying to break the speed gun. And unfortunately, they were erratic with it. Lots of leg stump half volleys that just got put away when it mattered. If it was white ball cricket or red ball cricket, they would have been put away. They'd have been punished just the same.
Now playing two signal, no more than 4 fielders permitted outside the fielding zone.
Martin Saggers signalling the commencement of phase 2 of the game. Second power play. Immediately Hampshire on the retreat. 4 fielders outside of the circle. No slips. Wouldn't have carried to one if he'd been standing there. All the attention's been on Tom Banton. Azhar Ali has helped himself to a run of ball 28. 5 boundaries for him. 10 fours and 1 6 in the reply so far. Hampshire in desperate need of a wicket. Where do you see it coming from, Rob?
Well, at the moment, it looks like one of Banton or Azhar Ali's going to make a mistake themselves. It's just not the way, really, to get off to a start like this for someone like Tom Banton, where you just think, you know what, I'll just cruise to 100. Nudge, nerd, or hit the odd bad ball. Generally, you think they're going to play a few and then the big shot's going to come. There's something in it occasionally, but Hampshire just haven't hit a length over and over again, and the value of wickets in the power play makes such a difference.
No way.
Yes, when do Hampshire introduce Mason Crane? Used to coming into the attack, perhaps with the opposition 2 or 3 down, and being able to put new batsmen under pressure. He might have to be the man to make the breakthrough.
Watched a little bit of Azhar Ali in one-day cricket this year. We've seen him in the Royal London. Feel it. Surely there was something that you feel he could have done in the World Cup. The way he plays, we've seen him bowl and get wickets as well. why people just would retire from one-day cricket. I feel that he must have something more to do. What is he, 34? I don't see the point. When you're still young enough, you may as well just still leave yourself open.
.68 without loss. I'm just looking at Azhar Ali's numbers as a one-day international player. 53 innings and 53 matches. Strike rate is less than 75. Maybe that's what has counted against him in the international arena. And that's that sort of strike rate now at the top of the order just is not cutting it in international cricket nowadays.
I've seen his game develop though this year. He got 110 off just 93 balls at Taunton. Also as well, Pakistan, they have people like Fakhar Zaman, Imam ul Haq. Babar Azam is a fine player. Then you're into some... We're going to have to be quick. He's quick. Who have they brought back? Hafiz, Shoaib Malik.
Interestingly, though, I'm reading writers, Pakistani journalists and Pakistani fans talking about Babar Azam and saying that his hundreds aren't coming quick enough, and he's making them at a rate of above 100. So if he's getting stick for making a runnable 100, then Azhar Ali's struggling with a strike rate of 75.
So you're not having him then, basically.
I get where you're coming from, but he's unlikely to get in the top 3 with what they've got at the moment. And that certainly is his forte, so I don't see how he gets in the side.
Wait. No.
Gareth Berg into the attack from the pavilion end, having to come in and do a different sort of clean-up job to the one that he performed at the Ageas Bowl in the semi-final. That was finishing off an innings and finishing up with 5 for. Right now he's got to clean up a desperate start from Hampshire's bowlers, try and get them back into the contest.
You see that little bit of bounce there. This is pretty much what Somerset did with Josh Davey and Tom Abel later on. Tom Abel was only 79 miles per hour, but they just ran in and hit a length. You saw on that ball there, no pace from Berg, 82 miles per hour, just a little bit of bounce. Problem is, as you say, he's now having to drag it back. You want him to come in when they're slightly in the game. 73 for none.
Just remind spectators there are water fountains at various points around the ground. Those who would like to refill your bottles and stay hydrated throughout the afternoon, so please feel free to use those water fountains located at various points behind the main stand and grandstand in particular, and at various points around the outer perimeter of the pond.
172 from 228. People talk about bowlers not being important. Mason Crane with a narrow miss. It's not Taylor on as a substitute. I think he might be on for Mason Crane. Usually fields at backward point.
Well, he threw to the right end. Tom Banton is pretty quick, certainly quicker than Azhar Ali. Azhar Ali's going to have to be ready.
Beautiful timing. It's going to run away from Fidel. It's another leg stump half volley, and another boundary comes from it.
Another release of pressure, all too easy for Somerset. He is not going to miss out on that. No pace. Short side as well, even though it's up the slope. Close was he there at fine leg? There's a short boundary, he's way in. I reckon you're in the wrong place. Get back a little bit. Must he look like James Vince as well?
I reckon that's one of those where he was wandering back to his position. Someone in the crowd said, hang on, turn round, and there he was. He was about 15 yards closer than that, and the ball reached him. Got to find something here, Hampshire. Sam Northeast has got to pull a rabbit out of a hat. It's got to be look to Mason Crane. I think that's the most likely avenue right now. Unleash the leg spinner, see if he can create some havoc.
No.
80 for none from 13.
Someone we'll see a bit more of, I reckon, in the future, through the leg side. Just that little step across and a flick and fast hands. That was an excellent shot. These are help yourself. This not so much through the offside. That was probably, oh, maybe the hit for 6, but if you're more of a purist, I'd say that drive on the up.
There is Mason Crane getting the fingers loose. Won't be long before we see him. The striking thing about all those boundaries, that package from Tom Banton, Keezy, was that once again the backlift that's become absolutely essential in modern batting, whereby the toe of the bat is pointing towards the sky. Something that Brian Lara, that was part of the charm, part of the beauty of watching Brian Lara. He had that backlift where the toe of the bat was always pointing skywards. Now pretty much all modern batsmen do it. He'll stand there in his stance and wave the bat around, and the toe of the bat's probably pointing at 60 degrees over the keeper's head. But then as the ball is released, it goes right up vertical, almost to 90 degrees.
Yeah, who else did that? Ponting spoke about. Then you get the weight of the bat coming down. It becomes lighter almost the higher you pick it up. Shots like that, you can just drop the bat on the ball. You seem to have so much more time. Players with small bat lifts or bat lifts that the toe doesn't go up generally seem to have less time. There you go. You just see that little move across, but then, as Mark Butcher says, the bat lift. Not there, that's not the important point. Do what you want there. almost got to it. Important point, make no mistake, it's not about how you stand in your stance. So you just wave it around, do what you want there, but when you go to hit the ball, where do the hands go? Right up. That's the key moment. It is not about standing there still like a baseball player. So when you move into the ball, forward or back, that back goes up, the toe goes up to the sky.
So the other part about that is the body and the head and the weight and everything starts to shift towards the ball. And with the hands and the bat right back there, the toe of the bat pointing towards the sky, the last thing that moves then are your hands. You haven't already started to bring the bat down to try and find the ball. Hands stay right out of the way until you've made the decision to make contact, whether that's cross-batted or a straight-batted stroke. The reason the guys hit the ball as hard as they do is because there's just so much downward momentum in through the ball from that position.
I just thought it was the size of the bat.
$84 for none. Well, looks as though it is time for leg spin out there in the middle. Up here in the commentary box, it's fire and ice, Mills and Knight.
Thanks, George. Anyway. Mason Crane needs to weave his magic now and do something amazing, something very special to get his team back in this game. Not got his partner in crime in this match because Liam Dawson is obviously away with England, playing in the World Cup or in the World Cup squad, playing down at the Ageas Bowl against Australia. He's going to have to do it on his own today. 8 wickets in his last 3 games. Watch Mason Crane over the last couple of years or so. He's not frightened to give the ball a bit of air. It's exactly what he has to do here. Search of wickets.
Yeah, they need a wicket, don't they, Hampshire? And Mason Crane has been tossed the ball by Sam Northeast, and it's one of those Northeast would have said to him, come on mate, grab us one here, start us off, and then if you get us one we can all rally around you. A little bit of turn there, Mason Crane, outside the off stump. First real signs of any spin for a little while, so a little bit from Roller van der Merwe earlier. A little bit of drift in and yeah, definite turn away. Yeah, spoke about how good Mason Crane and Liam Dawson have worked in tandem, and they've been the big reason of see this graphic on screen, how good that Hampshire have been in this middle over period throughout this one-day tournament. Must be really comforting for a captain to know that I've got 2 really good spinners that can just control the game through the middle. I know that more often than not they're going to go out there and they're going to restrict the team and they'll chip away with wickets as well. So when you lose half of that, as Hampshire have done today with Liam Dawson being called up to England, it does hurt your side.
Boundary, huge roar here. Sublime 50 from Tom Banton.
His teammates applaud him up on the balcony, and rightly so. 4th 50 in a row in this competition for Tom Banton. We've talked him up plenty in this broadcast so far, and he's certainly showing everybody what he's got. A really talented young man. 53 not out currently off 50 balls in a Lord's final.
7 runs from Mason Crane's first through 15 overs, 91 without loss. Yeah, just watching him play, right from the start of this innings, it just looked like it was a group game, let alone a Lord's final with so much at stake for he and his team. Just looked like this was just another game. And we took to Peter Trigo at the start when he came and joined us at the top of the show, and he said, it's all right people saying that, it's just another game. It's difficult to do. Watching Tom Banton made it look very simple today.
Yeah, and there's been some average bowling, but you've still got to put it away, haven't you? And he's done that. That's what the good players do. They put away bad bowling. If you stray off your line or your length, they'll punish you, and he's certainly done that today and then some.
I mean, you'll see it from a bowler's perspective. I'll see it from a batter's perspective. He just looks like he's as good on the front foot as the back foot. And as a batsman, I look, how good are you on the back foot? Some of those back foot drives have been very impressive.
So you'd say the next stage now, he's got a 50, he's got his team off to a brilliant start. Can he then go and get 100 now? Can he even potentially be not out come the end of today? Can he score do something really special? He's done something brilliant so far. He's got his team off to a great start. He showed us all these shots. Can he then, has he got that next level? You look at these class players at the next level, they don't just get 50s, they get 100s, 150s. He's obviously a young man, I'm sure he'll get there eventually, but if you start to do those things when you're 20, 21, you're really going to you catapult yourself into kind of the real forefront of people's conversations.
Excellent running. Very good running. Very quick early call.
Good call from the non-striker there to push his partner through. Identify that there was a run there. Nice loud call. Banton wasn't aware of the run at first, but just trusted his partner and got himself at the other end.
Other things to add to Tom Banton. The bloke he's batting with, Azhar Ali, the experience he can get from him, the calmness that he seems to play the game with, will rub off on him. And the other bloke is not here today, but he'd be probably listening to this and watching at home. Trey's Marcus Trescothick. Get a chance to talk about batting with Marcus. You learn pretty quickly, so he's got some good people around him. Just a little giddy there, a little carried away. Good early call from Azhar Ali, 94 without loss.
Interesting, he's not played in the county championship so far this year. Obviously, season's still pretty early in its infancy, and Somerset going well. So obviously, you don't want to mess with a side too much when you're winning.
Interesting that Mason Crane's bowling from the nursery end. The reason I say that is a very short boundary for the right-hander, leg side. We've already seen them try and pick it up and dispatch it over that way. Almost like Sam Northeast is saying maybe the slope will help the leg spinner. But perhaps as important, may just be thinking about that's my best way of getting a wicket against the spin, hitting leg side.
Come on!
A super shot. got all the shots.
Yep, certainly has us all the shots in the book. Switch of the hands there. See a little bit of turn, but just one man at point. He's pretty square, so didn't have to do much to beat him. Slip in play, Sam North East, the captain. Mason Crane signalling that he's not too happy with the field placement.
Oh, wherever the fielders are, the ball is going somewhere else. 100 up.
Yeah, Somerset are rolling. Brilliant partnership this between Azarali and Tom Banton. Another 4. He got his wish, Mason Crane. The slip came out, went into another point. Waited long enough and really flicked his wrists. The ball then spinning away down the hill, away from the man that was at deep cover.
Oh, no. Beautiful base.
There was a cry of catch. Absolutely no chance it was going to be caught. Timing too good, placement too good.
Mason Crane is not happy with the fielder there at deep backward square. Feels he made no effort to get that. It's a short boundary out there. It's hit hard from Banton, and it's gone there quickly. Kyle Abbott just jogging his way around there. It was never a catch, but I think Mason Crane maybe wanting to make an effort to put a dive in, stop the ball. But Tom Banton's played an excellent over there. 14 runs off it, 108 for naught. Where do you reckon they go from here, Hampshire United? How are they going to win this game? You still got to think. You know, you're not giving up. 108 for naught. But you got to do something, and you've got to try. You've got to. What's Sam North East thinking right now?
You've got to try and think, who are my two most likely bowlers? Who do I think can make the break? Forget about the game going the full distance. So I would persist with Mason Crane. I know he went for 14 off his last over. Maybe think about changing ends for him. That's one thing. Maybe then Fidel Edwards if he feels, or Abbott. Abbott's been his leading wicket taker. Now's the time to just make the change. Now's the time to try something a little different.
Yeah, I know Fidel Edwards on screen here. He bowled poorly with the new ball, but he's your strike bowler. He's your quickest bowler. And you need to make something happen, even if you just say, you toss him the ball, say, come on, mate, a couple of overs here, a bit of short stuff, try some Yorkers maybe, and just see if you can make the breakthrough for us, and then we can rally around each other and we can go again. I think Sam North East has got a big job here to keep his team up, keep them motivated.
Yeah, you're right. That's the other thing you do as a captain at this point. You just have a look around the field and you just think, right, who's still going? Whose body language is good? Who's right behind the bowler? Who might make a difference here in the field?
Yeah, I think you make a good point with the field. It could be, you know, a run out or something, you know, a brilliant catch that really makes the difference and just gets your team going somewhere, even if you don't end up winning the game, but you make a bit more of a fist of it. The worst thing you want, you know, it's a Lord's final, you don't want to end up, you know, Somerset knocking this off, maybe 1, 2, 3 down at a canter. You want to do something for your fans, you know, it's a big day out and for yourselves as well, going into the rest of the season.
Just watching how Hampshire bowled, and you can put me right on this, but how Hampshire have bowled here compared to how, say, Somerset did. Josh Davey, the new ball, almost like they knew they were way short, almost forced it, almost tried to get wickets so early. Every ball try and be a wicket ball rather than set it up, be a little patient. 18 overs gone, 109 without loss. Some more news from the Aegeus Bowl. James Vince then going nicely. He's 30 from 41. And Stokes is 19 from 28. So England going pretty well there. 99 for 2. They're chasing 298 to win. Steve Smith with 100. David Warner with 40 odd. So 43 I think he got. So they're back in the runs. That's on Sky Sports Mix. That's channel 121. That shot's now covered in terms of a man just behind square and a man a little further behind. That, I think, is what he's bowling for. That's maybe his best chance. Going for that short boundary.
It's good bowling from Mason Crane. A little bit of light drift, just clipping the back leg of Tom Banton, which is what the wicketkeeper would have seen and heard. Almost.
Yeah, and you talk about Sam Northeast and what he can do as a captain. Encourage Mason Crane to get it up above the eye line and tempt the batsman. That's what he's doing here. Quite there this time.
There's one thing that'll give you a little bit of hope's the right word, but Tom Banton plays shots, doesn't he? He's not the type of player that's going to sit. Doesn't look like he's going to be sitting on you too much. He's playing shots. He wants to get the sweeps out, the reverse sweeps. He's playing some higher risk shots. So there's always going to be a sniff, especially as you say, if Crane can get it above the eye line, you're in with a chance of potentially making that breakthrough. Whereas Azhar Ali, on the other hand, looks like he's happy to just knock it around. You know, he's playing low risk cricket now. He's eyeing a nice bit of red ink at the end of the day, and he's happy to play second fiddle to Tom Banton here.
Googly. Looked like the Googly. Think he picked it as well. 19 gone. 111 for no wicket. Yeah, picked it.
Rocket!
And situated with the land on 20 to go downwards.
It's going to be Fidel Edwards. We spoke about it. Getting the quick bowler back in. His first spell was pretty poor, 31 from 3 overs. As Nick Knight said, he attacked the stumps a bit too much, went too full, kind of ended up bowling half volleys in and around the leg stump, and Banton punished him, but just there. It's a good start from Fidel Edwards. That's probably what... Not quite backed up in the field. That good heavy length. See the crowd having a good time. I'm sure they're enjoying their Saturday in the sun.
big appeal and gone. Yates walks off, so the move to bring back Fidel Edwards has worked. Good captaincy, and maybe, just maybe, there's still a game on.
Yep, we spoke plenty about it up here. Get him back into the attack. A little bit of hostility, hit the deck. Effort ball now, definite inside edge. A really good catch behind the stumps from Tom Alsop. Change of bowling's done the trick for Hampshire. Tom Banton goes for an entertaining 69. Somerset 112 for 1.
Peter Trigo, he'll enjoy this moment. We spoke to him at the top of the show. He said how much he was looking forward to playing in this game at Lord's, trying to help his side get over the line. They've had real problems doing that in the last 10 years. They've often been runners-up. But as he walks out now, 112 for 1. I'm not sure at the top of the show he could have dreamt of this situation. He's been in pretty good form, 73 off 72 in the last game. That was the semi-final at Trent Bridge. Big 100 in the competition, 141 against Essex. Made regular contributions, still a very fine player.
Just playing white ball cricket now for Somerset. Just outstanding servant over the years down in the southwest.
Got to have a slip in, surely. Got to have a little bit more help. He's brought in Fidel Edwards to do exactly this, make the breakthrough. And if he's going to bowl well, and your captain has to expect him to bowl well, really has to have a more attacking field than this. Maybe that's what this chat is about.
Yeah, definitely saw wicketkeeper Tom Alsop pointing, saying we need a slip. Looks like he's got his wish after a little chat between bowler and captain. Gareth Burgett is coming out of cover and into 1.5 second slip. Yeah, you're right. You've got to keep trying to take wickets here. If you can get another one here, your team's really on a roll. Gives you that little bit more momentum going into this next part of the game.
Yeah, that's it. That's why you need a slip. And you can see he is pumped up. You could see that from his reaction when he got the wicket. That'll be partly because of the team situation and probably partly because of the way he bowled with the new ball. He's changed ends. He looks a lot happier from the pavilion end.
Yeah, that's a really good bowling, and you can hear the vocals around the ground. Crowd enjoyed it as well. There's a little bit more theatre, a little bit more atmosphere out there now. And you're right, Fidel had a real big kind of roar and cheer after he took that wicket, so he's certainly pumped up. And again,
Peter Trigo, age 37, is under pressure.
brilliant bowling, Fidel Edwards, real hostile stuff, and a little bit of chat afterwards as well. This is what you want to see. This is good drama. This is what Sam North East would have wanted from his team. Get a little bit more energy. Fidel Edwards has brought that and then some.
Yeah, it's not too late, but he'd love this from the ball one, from his first spell. Looks much happier at this end.
Yeah, Sam North East will love it. Doesn't look like Peter Trigo is. First two balls in and around the shoulder helmet. That'll wake you up. Two 37-year-olds going at it.
also got one of these actions, slingy actions. It's quite difficult. Faced him on a rare occasion back in the day. Actually quite difficult to locate the ball when you first go in. Because it's so slingy, you're trying to see the ball out of the hand. It's not always straightforward. It's the best way. Get down the other end. He'll be on strike for the next over. 117 for 1. He played beautifully, and it took something pretty special to get him out. A little inside edge on the way through, and he didn't need to look up. He knew. That's what we're talking about there. You can see the emotion there. He knows. Big job to do.
That's leg stump there. It's right arm over two.
Slight problem for Hampshire is got their most likely bowler. Sam Northeast's done really well. He's got the right combination on at the right time.
Come on, boys.
But the run rate is just so not a problem. 4.29, so they can just play through this section of the game and just knock it around. And that's because they're just so short with their batting. But he's doing all he can.
Yeah, you're right. And as we said earlier, Azhar Ali's he's looking comfortable out there. He's playing low risk cricket. He knows what's needed for his team, and he's happy to do that job. Peter Trigo's obviously just come to the crease, so he's not going to be coming in and playing too many expansive shots you wouldn't have thought. So these two, as you say, they can afford to just sit on Mason Crane and Fidel Edwards. You assume Edwards isn't going to bowl an awfully long spell.
The only thing he could do, Timo, is what we just saw there. And I know it's easy up here in the commentary box, not so easy when you're accountable out there, but just bring your mid off. Not for Azhar Ali. For Peter Trigo, you can almost bring your long off up and say, look, you're under pressure at the other end. See if you'll have a dip against the leg spinner. Maybe bring that man up.
Lovely Mace. Great dots, great dots. Oh.
2 runs from the over, 119 for 1. News from the Aegeus bowl, Ben Stokes has been dismissed. Stumped. So Australia still fighting hard there. Vince is 31 from 41. England now 100 for 3. So England 100 for 3, 119 for 1. But crucially, a wicket in the last over for Fidel Edwards, who continues now. Up here for us, Ebony Rainford, Brent and Ishagu.
Thanks, Nick. Bit of fiery aggression from Fidel Edwards. Just in the last over. Needs to try and bring things back for Hampshire. It didn't start too well. A lot of loose stuff on the middle stump for Tom Banton to tuck into, mainly through the leg side. Not the best of starts from a Hampshire point of view, especially with 244 on the board. Nicely timed. Won't go all the way. Azhar Ali has played quite nicely in partnership with Banton initially. Someone who can generally bat through an innings. They're not under pressure here at Somerset, but they just need to play some smart cricket to get them through.
Hampshire, well, if they can pick up another couple of wickets, you just never know. In the air and taken! Fidel Edwards making things happen.
Well, what a difference change of ends has made. Managed to find his line. The venom has been there. This one was another quick delivery, 89 miles an hour, completely rushed. Wasn't able to get into any sort of position there, Azhar Ali, and as easy as you like, catch. Well, Riley Rousseau holds it. Fidel Edwards has turned around his fortune. So a nice innings for 45. He goes 121 for 2.
Number 25, James Hildreth.
James Hildreth, next man in. 2 experienced cricketers in the middle right now for Somerset. They've seen a lot over the years. Somerset still in a very good position, but 2 new batsmen at the crease. And Fidel Edwards with his tail up.
Yeah, it's really interesting choice for Fidel Edwards in terms of ends. James Hildreth, meanwhile, has had another fantastic season. 4 batters nearly scoring around that 400 mark for Somerset. Shows the depth. You always feel calm when you've got someone like Hildreth coming to the crease. It's interesting what a difference it's made to Fidel Edwards bowling from the pavilion end. I think Carl Abbott being the senior bowler, he would have had first pick. The question to you as a bowler, would you have put your hand up early?
I never had first pick with Catherine Brunner at the other end. Up the slope, bowling into the wind. There's a stark difference there in spells for Edwards. Sometimes it's just pumping yourself up, crowd catch. Get the Hampshire faithful going.
Well, they haven't had too much to cheer about, the crowd. Well, Hampshire fans, they are now getting a late game, really revival.
Well, I think part of his problem was he was bowling from the nursery end with the slope going from right to left against the right-hander. And I think he was trying to get that ball to shape away, but when you do it from that end, you feel like you can't start too wide, so he's starting straight. He wasn't getting it to swing, and that was just feeding into Tom Banton. The wicket of Azhar Ali, tough man to dislodge, so that is big, and he knows it. So another good over for Fidel Edwards, 121 for 2.
Just shows you how valuable pace is, isn't it? Doesn't matter about age or anything like that. Even though he wasn't able to get it right in the first spell in terms of line, bringing a bowler back in who can bowl 90 miles an hour. Look at that. Tom Banton, who was set, just got rushed for pace. The ball moved then again, Azarali, uncomfortable, chipping it up. Pace is such a luxury.
The pace he's bowling, the length he's bowling as well. In his first spell, he was a little bit too full and on middle. This time, still on a similar line, but length is a bit further back.
Oh, Mason!
Watching the spin closely, Trigo. Yeah, first spell a lot more on the stumps and wayward down the leg side, whereas second spell, a few more deliveries on the off stump and just outside.
Middle, please. That's your middle. Three balls to come.
See those yellow balls on the left there. That's with him bowling with the slope going left to right, so he feels he has a bit of room and a margin to come into the right-hander. Well run. A bit of space in that point region. And Aaron Donald having to run to his left. That is the longer part of the ground. They went early. Important for the leg spinner here, Mason Crane, to keep that line right. Sometimes when you've got a short leg side boundary, you feel like you can't target the stumps as much.
Well, they're keeping the slip in. Two relatively new batters. There's not much turn, but they've got to continue to look to take wickets.
Nicely bowled. So control from the opposite end. 4 runs from it, 125 for 2. Just attenuating the scoring, Hampshire, with those 2 wickets just after the 20th. Nicely played, beats point. Won't go all the way. It is a quick outfield, short boundary. Come back for 2.
Well, it's a different strategy today for Hampshire. Normally they have the likes of Liam Dawson and Mason Crane at this stage, squeezing. Liam Dawson had taken 18 wickets in this competition. A very different makeup today. Sam Northeast has got to re-marshal the bowlers, especially when your opening bowler didn't do so well, bringing back very, very different strategy today.
It's a tough one. I actually think he gave Fidel Edwards 1 over too many. Wood should have come into the attack sooner. That's when, as a captain, you have to be ruthless. Obviously, stand in for today. James Vince, the regular captain. I just felt when he leaked those runs early on, needed to be taken off.
Getting some excellent tail back in. Perfect Yorker.
Yep.
finds the gap. There'll be a chase on the northeast. He gets there. Well, they've run 4 runs.
Yes, the longest part of the ground there. Did well to just hold his balance. It was another ball tailing in. Just managed to hold it, played the ball late. Creeped into the furthest corner of the ground.
That's good running. It's a better delivery as well, just outside the off stump. The opportunity for that ball to just come in down the slope with that natural variation.
Well, it's testing their fitness, isn't it? All run 4. You then kind of want to sit on your back for a couple of deliveries, don't you? But they went
what you
for
would
it.
do, Eb.
I think that'll be me done. Retired, hurt.
You were quick between the wickets. Only took you 3 paces. $134 for 2. If you're just tuning in, Hampshire won the toss, selected to bat first, 244 on the board. Just missing James Vince, Liam Dawson today. Sam Northeast, he dug in, played a filthy swipe across the line, was out for 56. James Fuller, well, he couldn't quite be as free as he wanted to be, but some useful runs for him with 55. 3 wickets for Overton. Jamie Overton with 3 for 48. Tom Abel brought himself into the attack with 2 for important 2 wickets, and Josh Davey at the top was brilliant for Somerset. In reply, Tom Banton got Somerset off to a flyer. Some loose stuff from Fidel Edwards, but he's brought it back for 2. Crane to continue. Well, I think he had too much time to think about what to do with that, James Hildreth.
That was a filthy delivery, wasn't it? Didn't come out right at all.
Much better line and length from Crane.
Come on, boy.
James Hildreth, of course, involved in Somerset's last trophy win in 2005 in the T20. Graham Smith, the captain. Graham Smith, I think, is in Cardiff at the moment for the South Africa game. Yeah, good running again. It's that area once more, just backward a point. That cover fielder on the ropes.
Yeah, the communication's been good. We've seen 8 runs in the last couple of overs. Run 4, a couple of 2s. Just about applying pressure, isn't it? You can't quite, you know, as you come in and you're establishing a new partnership, sometimes the ball's not there. End of the over, 139 for 2. So just rebuilding these two. I think one thing that's done the Somerset in good stead, they're not losing any players to any sort of international duty, and then they've got 4 of their squad who've churned out runs this season.
Thought he might just hold Fidel Edwards, bring Chris Wood into the attack. That last over, they looked a lot more comfortable against him. Sam North East just hoping that Fidel Edwards could just fire one more out with his pace. I did think Trigo and Hildreth handled him quite well the over before. Now look at those bowlers. Who's going to be the one to take your wickets? Chris Wood from the nursery end, he was getting a bit of lift off the surface.
Just continuing on that point of Somerset not really having to lose players. They've done well in terms of injury. 9 of their 11 have been ever present throughout this whole campaign for 2019. It's very rare to see that.
Yeah, and for the whole Royal London campaign, they've only used 13 players. So important to have that consistency sometimes and not changing up the team too much. That's enough to tell you that was the right decision to keep him on for one more over.
Well, he's causing problems, really rushing the fielders. The inner ring looks like it keeps creeping as well. Very tight mid-wicket. Square just in front. Everyone just coming in as the bowler runs in on the squeeze.
A gentle look behind to see if that went over his head. James Hildreth. Bowling up at 89 miles an hour on average. Quickest ball 92 miles an hour. A fast Barbadian. There's another Barbadian in action over at the Ageas Bowl. He hasn't bowled yet, Jofra Archer. Protection out there. He's testing him.
It just showed how valuable pace is. We saw Overton earlier. He picked up a number of wickets, and that on a wicket that's not offering much for the bowlers, that extra bit of pace does make an inroads. Yeah, 3 wickets for Jamie Overton earlier. Good bounce as well, one of those that rushed the batter.
Caller 2. They'll settle for 1. I think it's time for an in-swinging Yorker, isn't it? Tried, it was too short. Half volley in the end. Lovely drive from James Hildreth. 26 overs done, 145 for 2.
Just a late opening up of the hands here. The ball nice and full. Then just threaded it through the gap. You don't need to overhit it, and that's the smallest boundary as well. All about the timing.
He just didn't get it to shape, did he, Fidel Edwards, on that occasion?
Just a little bit. Yeah, one leg.
So a bit of a spike for Somerset as they regain a bit of control.
Joining bowling at the nursery end, number 11, Kyle Abbott.
Kyle Abbott into the attack then. Change of ends for him. Went for 26 from his 5 overs. What can he do here with a change of slope, change of angle? The problem Hampshire have got at the moment is that they really have to just try and fire a wicket. Two experienced players at the crease. They're not going to do anything silly. That required rate 4.2, so it's manageable. It's not like they're going after the bowlers. They can just bide their time, wait for the bad ball or one to just nudge away.
Well, good start. If you can't get the wicket-taking delivery, it's all about creating pressure. For Edwards, although he bowled well at times, relieved it with that boundary at the back end. So Abbott's got a squeeze. He's bowling stump to stump at the moment. Just keep coming at the batters and then eventually, hopefully, force that mistake.
It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who can just fire them out like Fidel Edwards, just to build up a pressure. Keep hammering that length and keeping it tight.
Well, this is good here, using his experience. Partnership started to establish. 24 came together as 2 new batters. He's kept them quiet this over. 4 dots.
Nicely played. Good bit of work on the boundary as well.
Good from Trigo. He's getting a little bit bogged down in that over. Just saw him shuffle his feet just to change the length. Just find a way to get the over moving.
.147 for 2. Lots of cricket on our channels today. Update from Hampshire. Joss Buttler went ballistic. Sign of things to come between these two, perhaps. 4-6. 4-6. The bowling of Nathan Coulter-Nile. Smashing him everywhere. But he does get out in the end. A chip to mid-wicket, comfortably taken. Of course, for chasing down that target of 298, though, on Sky Sports Mix. Cheerful, relaxed Saturday afternoon here at Lord's. Some useful runs from James Fuller towards the end of that first innings. Couldn't really break away. because he had to be there at the end and play some smart cricket, but a few lusty blows at the end. What can he do with the ball?
It's going to be vital to just try and keep that squeeze on. You saw Kyle Abbott just go for 2 runs. Every single ball was in the channel. First one from Fuller, just offering a bit of width. He needs to back up Abbott at the other end.
So you went England-India World Cup final, 14th of July.
Yeah, what have you gone for? I've gone for the 2 most reliable teams.
I've got, our director has just said Afghanistan. I think they'll take a few down in the group stages, Afghanistan. I've gone top 4, England, India, Australia and Windies. It was Pakistan initially, but I think Windies just edged them out. New Zealand have got a good shout as well, I reckon.
Yeah, I think when you're selecting your 4, you don't want to just go for informed teams. So I think for me, that England, India, the most expected. And I've got a couple of outside picks. Yeah, so I think you've got to go a couple of wild card teams in your pick. So I think West Indies, based on seeing them, one thing that's worth noting here is 150 is up on the board with some ease really today. Only 2 wickets down. No real stress for Somerset in this chase. Got off to a flyer, but now things ticking nicely in the other 2 50s. Yes, I think you've got to choose a couple of wild cards. I think West Indies, for me, watching England go out, seeing players like Shimron Hetmeyer, you think if they scramble into that last 4, they could cause problems. I still keep Pakistan because of seeing their success here. 2009 T20, Champions Trophy. I also don't think they're a team that needs to be in form coming in. Once the tournament starts, they often find a way.
$151 for 2. Somerset doing this out of canter at the moment, 94 from 132. David Lloyd with Rob Key.
Well, they need something special, do Hampshire. Losing in every department. 122 for 4 they were. Somerset were just better with the ball, better in the middle with the ball, and so far better with the bat. Chance, better in the field as well.
How hard is this? Short and wide, and he gives it everything. Bursts through the fielder.
Well, not an easy chance, but it should have been taken. Just palmed it up, couldn't then get the rebound. Ball just was hit too hard.
Well, he's hit it hard. One of those that it'd stick. Sometimes, presence of mind, you just knock it up there. Take the sting out of it. Somerset need 93 from 128. 4.36.
Nice shot. Well, Trigo's run through. He's not even looking. He's just trotted to the other end. Not a bad bit of cricket, actually. Good shot, not the worst ball.
Well, these two will have grown up with each other, Trigo and Hildreth, and they run so well. You get that telepathy and confidence of running with a partner. Vastly experienced, the pair of them.
Ball of two straight away. Trigo just turns and goes. Big boundary out there. Well, they're doing what is required at the moment. 155 for two.
Well, I like that. I talk about the experience. The two of them there just hit and run. The first call immediately is two. Hitting down to the tavern boundary. That's the longest boundary. Although the boundaries are well in. Seen a rarity as well. It's only a couple of overs ago, and all run four. I'm stumping all statisticians. The chat with Benedict. When was the last all run 5 in the UK in first class cricket? No overthrows, none of that, no overthrows, and all run 5.
How would you research that, Benedict? I would find that would be pretty tough, wouldn't it?
Well, the stats, aren't they? They've all dared to do it.
Waffling away about how all 5s are counted as boundaries, talking to himself. Leave it with him, he says. Are you finding it down south? When did you come down? Last night?
Come down last night. Had a walk, because I'm onto these steps now. You've got to do steps. You've got to get your steps in. You've got to do 10,000 a day. I'm walking up Primrose Hill past that zoo.
What, London Zoo?
Yeah. It was a gorgeous night. It was lovely. And this trickle of water come on my head. So I looked up. I mean, it's not a cloud in the sky. It's lovely. I thought, what was that? And I looked through the edge, and there's this monkey. And I reckon he piddled on me. And he was smiling. He thought, I've got you. First of all, I thought there's somebody with a hose pipe, but there wasn't. It was just a little dribble.
Other good delivery. You actually turned around and saw a monkey?
Yeah, looking through the edge, and there's all this like netting. So they're in there, aren't they? And you know they do, scratching and what have you. And he was smiling. Got you.
Wait!
Did you make it to the pub, or you just come back and...
No, I just want so much. I've got to get your steps in, haven't you? That's the thing these days. Steps. Wandering aimlessly around everywhere. Just keep walking.
You were walking in the commentary box the other day.
Yeah. Get them up. Get your steps up.
Shout 2 again, immediately off the bat. Might be even better, no, maybe 3. Yeah, as soon as it was palm, then you heard Trigo shout again. Don't need to do any more. Another 4 runs from the over, 159 for 2.
Well, it's a good pairing. Partnership is 38. Just need 86 from 120 deliveries. The flurry in that 244. It's a real flurry at the back end of the innings. There's some Crane and James Fuller. Didn't seem enough. Hampshire batting first, and what we've seen when the sun's been out, it's you're probably better off batting last.
Well, Mason Crane, not the type of score, not the type of situation for the leg spinner. Got to try and force something, that's the problem. Generally, leg spinners just don't like batsmen milking them, just nicking them for singles here and there, just ticking along at 4 and over. They really come into the game in this format nowadays when batsmen have to up the ante. That said, hit me, and it was. Smashed away, long hot.
Oh, don't miss out, and he won't do, Peter Trigo. Half tracker from Mason Crane. I'll put the bowler under pressure. First delivery goes for 4. 82 required.
That one on the other side, a lot of width from Crane. Should be another couple at least. You see the size of the boundary around there. Need to get up and throw it. And Aaron Donald. Benedict got an answer for you.
On the all-run 5, and he says this is not absolutely bang on. He's just most recent one. 1979, Desmond Haynes off Dennis Lilly, the 7th over of an ODI. An all-run 5, and he's telling me that the year before that, David Bairstow was run out attempting the 6th with Mike Brealey.
Someone at home must have something that can stump Benedict. Must have a question that Benedict about cricket that neither him nor Bumble can get. I don't know where you'd research that. Just it keeps the records for that. That's a cheeky shot. Just awareness, really, because it was a full toss, and instead of just trying to paste it into the leg side and only getting a single, he just delicately touched it around the leg side. 169 for 2.
Partnership is 48, so these two are absolutely set at the crease and they're having a good time. 10 from the over, 76 required. It's down at 4 and over. It's been a really good performance by Somerset. I just think it's one of these games where Hampshire in a final, seen it before, just haven't turned up.
You'd have played in a few Lords finals.
Yeah, we were chatting about it before. I think we played in 6 in the early 70s. I'm just thinking about that teams who, you know, good sides, good players, and the occasion gets to them. You want to do so well. Domestic final at Lords, a massive day out. Well, it used to be. Used to be in September. I'm talking about the Gillette Cup of the NatWest final. Used to be in the first week of September, so you'd have an early start, always looking at the pitch, how much moisture is. Early 70s, there were no advertising boards, so you'd have 5,000 people sat on the boundary. 25,000 in.
Short ball, flicked away to the leg side. Good catch, made his ground really well. Chris Wood, is that the breakthrough they needed? They have a lot to do, but maybe, just maybe, that has just opened up a slim chance.
It's Peter Trigo. A really good catch, this. Comes out to the side of the hand from James Fuller. I wasn't backing him to get this. Makes great ground. You know, that's a very, very good catch. And sliding into the ball, round about shin height. Trigo 29, 170 for 3.
Incoming batsman number 28, Tom Abel.
Well, another one of this young crop here at Somerset. Captain Tom Abel, he's 25 years of age, been around a long time. A long time for a 25-year-old anyway. Generally, the short ball has been a good one and has been used well today by both teams. This time just got a bit cramped, if anything. Couldn't get his hands extended into the ball. Good catch, well judged. Made it look really easy with the slide. Solid Hildreth. Looks like the type of man who's just not going to panic at any stage. You feel that if Somerset are going to mess this up, it's purely going to be their own doing.
Well, they've got a strong batting lineup. Tom Abel in now, then George Bartlett, Lewis Gregory, Van der Merwe. Saw him score a wonderful 150 down at Taunton a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I reckon when they were out the game as well. think it was against Surrey. 170 for 3. And keeping an eye on the England game down at the Ageas Bowl against Australia. James Vince with an opportunity. Sort of takes it. 64 from 75 balls. Played nicely from what I saw of it, as he so often does. Good game going on down at the Ageas Bowl. England's bench strength being tested. Few injuries going on down there. Mark Wood only bowled 3.1 overs. We hope that he's okay. Morgan with that finger injury. Hopefully he'll be all right for the first game on Thursday. Then we have this game going on here. A little bit of spin for Mason Crane. That's the problem when you're so far behind the game, and the man who's in, Hildreth, you don't have a slip at the one time you probably needed him.
Captain will have been toying with the idea. He's got his leg spinner on, he bowls it and spins it both ways. Got to get wickets. Where does he get a slip from? Get a slip from mid-wicket. Encourage the batsman to play into the leg side against the spin.
And that's the type of ball you want to bowl for them to do it. Take out that mid-wicket, leave the man at deep mid-wicket slightly straighter than what he is now. Just try and get him to just nudge it into that man there at mid-wicket. Get him hitting against that little bit of spin that's there. Especially for Hildreth, because you think he's just going to be sitting there thinking, I don't have to do anything. I'll just wait for the odd ball. Just tick along nicely.
Well, amateur captain's got to be thinking, we've got to bowl them out. They just need 69. No, he slips in now.
Oh, watch that. Still 6 runs from the over, 176 for 3.
Just slipped a googly in there. 48 miles an hour. 8 overs, none for 50 for Mason Crane.
Nice shot. Really well played. Just waited for it. Placed it perfectly.
Yeah, it's a classy shot. Not the best delivery that we've seen all day, but nevertheless, James Hildreth just waits for it. You'll see it here perfectly. It's a leg cutter. Wait, and then knock it away. He almost plays that from behind him. He does.
Helped along again. He just uses the pace that the bowler is putting on the ball.
Well, this is it, Hampshire. They need to respond. Needs a lift in the field. Make something happen. Need a bit of magic.
Trying to find a slip from somewhere for Tom Abel, the new batsman. Well, Hampshire slightly on the attack. Extra cover coming in, well, from deep cover, so there's no man out on the offside fence. Third man is in play. 2 men out on the leg side.
I'll bring the fast man back. Fidel Edwards. Burst. Got a couple of overs.
You'd have seen him bowl some quick spells in his day, wouldn't you?
Yeah, really. Well, Mark Butcher was saying that he played against him when he put a rapid spell in.
Well, gets it fine enough. Just can't close out an over. Not a too bad an over up to this point. Try and create a bit of pressure on the new batsman, although he wouldn't have been convinced with the pull shot that he played. It's yet another boundary. Is it Fidel Edwards and Tino Best? Two short, fast men.
Well, they've been going against each other. Who could be the quickest, those two lads?
Well, that might be four. It was such a short boundary, fast outfield. It is. Excellent over for Somerset. 34 done, 189 for 3.
Yeah, good 13 from that over. Somerset just ticking down here. Need 56.
So North East continues to ring the changes. Needs to find something. This game is slipping away fast, if not gone. 56 from just 96 balls. Returns to Chris Wood. Run rate goes to 3.5. Four overs, 0 for 18 so far. Came on actually just after the initial spell from Abbott and Fidel Edwards, who just did not find a line and length. Another excellent shot.
Well, they fed him there, and he's not going to miss out. Hill just moves on to 36. Looks like he really enjoys this shot. He gets a bit of width and plays it late and gets it past that backward point.
I'd say that Somerset fans on social media, the thing they tweet about the most would be James Hildreth for England and how he's not had a look in. Ed Smith was here earlier. He's having a good look at him now.
Well, he's one of these players that's a nearly player. I mean, so many players vying for those middle order positions, and he's probably passed him by now. But he's, you know, he's just a very good player. Another, you think of a lad who I know very well, Glenn Chappell, who didn't play for England. And
had a good day in a final here as well, Glenn
5
Chappell.
for 18, I think he got. And probably the best of them all who never played for England, Don Shepherd for Glamorgan. 2000 first-class wickets and the rest.
2000?
Yeah. It's always a good topic. Terrific players who never actually played international. Alan Jones, Glamorgan, 36,000 runs. Played in that rest of the world game. That's not tractor, is it? No, I don't think so.
You've been looking for tractor, haven't you? Someone said, is the Somerset super fan tractor? Is he in the audience? Is he in the crowd?
Well, there's plenty of social media that says he is in the crowd, and if you can't see him, you'll hear him. Gives the team encouragement. He's wearing a maroon or a black t-shirt and a maroon hat, I think, somewhere.
Rate at just 3.27 now, 196 for 3.
I don't think we've got earpieces for this game, so you can't sort of have a chat with somebody and say, is tractor anywhere near you? Is a fella very loud drinking cider? No earpieces, are there? That's a shame.
No cappuccino machine either.
You're dead right. There's no cappuccino machine in this media. There's always, I say, cappuccino, please, thank you. No, they're only on for test matches. What? Fast man, getting back in. 49 required. Last burst here. Fidel Edwards, 7 overs. He's gone for 50, but he's got 2 wickets.
Yeah, and in his second spell, he created something. He was bowling at a better end. Bowling from the pavilion end gives him just a bit more margin on the leg side.
Give him a slip.
Yeah, that's the only way. They're just going to have to bowl them out. Just keep going like this. They're just going to tick along, get the odd boundary, get a slip in, take out. Where can you take him from? Take out mid-wicket. Bumpers and length. Try and create something. Not time, not exactly out of the middle of the bat. Average pace today for the seamers. Fidel Edwards right at the top, 88.2. We're getting too carried away with that, though. That first spell was just leg stump half volley after leg stump half volley. Wouldn't have mattered if it was 95 miles per hour. Just fed Tom Banton in particular. Azhar Ali just fed him on the pads. Got that sort of when he's running in, he's got that little bit of a Bob Willis going on there, Fidel.
And he's got a great run up. Very athletic. Oh, they're off. Here we go.
Seen a bit of that today. 200 is up.
It's quick enough, but it's leg stump and angle down the hill. Placed perfectly between the 2 fielders at fine leg and deep backward square. 23 fours, 1-6, 203 for 3.
Oh, wow, excellent catch. Fidel Edwards gives it the big one.
Well, you're dead right with a get it up there, try get the Yorker in, a short ball, the bouncer does the trick, it's another wicket. Somerset just need 42, but they've lost one. Tom Abel finds mid-wicket. Donald with a catch, another wicket for Fidel Edwards. He's now got 3 for 57. Abel's gone for 14, 203 for 4.
Incoming batsman number 14, George Bartlett.
Another young batsman comes in for Somerset, George Bartlett. Change up here, Tamal Mills, Ishagu.
That's not George Bartlett. That's the tractor driver. We found him. .42 from 85 required for Somerset to lift the trophy. George Bartlett, decent strike rate, best of 57 this season against Surrey. .36 overs gone, 203 for 4. So 2 overs left for Fidel Edwards. He comes back into the attack, he gets a wicket immediately. Last roll of the dice for Sam Northeast. Still looks comfortable for Somerset, but you just never know.
Yeah, and he's still full of it. Big celebrations every time he makes the breakthrough. Still passionate about the game, still wanting to do the job for his team.
Still the cool, calm head of James Hildreth out in the middle. He's worked along nicely to 41. Occupied the crease alongside Peter Trigo for a while there when Fidel was looking fiery. Just absorbed a bit of pressure and took it away from Hampshire a little bit. Tight.
Head in hands moment for Hampshire. Riley Russo, the man doing the fielding. George Bartlett might have been struggling there if it was a direct hit. Good pick up and throw from Russo. Looks like it would have been gone.
He just dragged it a little bit, Riley Rousseau. Threw that left leg out. That balance just took him a little bit to the left.
George Bartlett, another young man playing for Somerset today in the final, 21 years old. Great experience for these young guys, getting to play in these big games in front of a good crowd at Lord's. Also nice to have a experienced, more than an experienced campaigner in James Hildreth. Somerset for many years, played hundreds and hundreds of games, scored many runs. As Keezy spoke about previously, spoken about a lot, so I'm sure young batters such as George Bartlett will learn a lot from James Hildreth, both on and off the field, and from a Somerset point of view, they'll be hoping that these two can get the job done.
Well, that's what it's all about with winning teams and teams that do well in tournaments. Not that it's done yet, but it's so important to have that mixture of youth and experience, that youthful exuberance that's fearless and can just come in situations and play with freedom, and then the experienced characters who have been in situations many times before, or sometimes failed and have learned on their journeys to know exactly what to do in each situation. Amazing the way Chris Wood has played today, coming back into the side after injury and expecting to perform straight away. I actually thought he should have come into the attack a little bit sooner when they were leaking runs at the top and they needed to put pressure on to the openers of Somerset.
He's another guy that's been around for a long time now, played for Hampshire primarily in one-day cricket. Been involved in some really good trophy wins over the years in both 50 over T20 competition. He's struggled with injuries as of late the last few years, but good to see him still going, still playing. End of the over, 206 for 4. That's where we're at with the game. Somerset 39 more to win from 78 balls, which shouldn't be a problem. From a Hampshire point of view, they know they're going to need some more wickets. Fidel Edwards been the standout so far, 3 for 57. James Hildreth still there at the moment, 43 not out.
Well, what he'd really like is a ball that tails in, use the slope. That's what he's searching for. Too full, able to put it away or handle it. Oh, he's got Bartlett on strike. Where's he going here? Short one, full.
Well, he came really hard at Peter Trigo when he came to the crease earlier. Straight away tested out Trigo with some short stuff up top. So you guess a little bit more of the same is going to come George Bartlett's way. Edwards into his 9th over now, so not quite as fresh as he was earlier on this afternoon.
Talk about playing in big games and big finals. PSL final in Karachi, what was that like?
Yeah, that was good fun. Back in March now, a few months ago, I flew in for the second half of the tournament. Chris Jordan went to the West Indies to play for England, and I got drafted in as a replacement, and then kind of came into the team. And yeah, we managed to flew out to Karachi, played the last couple of group games, and then yeah, we made it to the final, and it was pretty special actually. Obviously, there's not a lot of cricket played in Pakistan at the moment for well-documented reasons, but you know they're slowly starting to get a bit more cricket there. And those games, it was kind of 35, 40,000. Every game was sold out, and like that. I remember the national anthem before the final was yeah, it was pretty special because obviously you got a crowd full of cricket hungry and very proud people of their nation, you know, blasting out the national anthem. It definitely got you going, and unfortunately I was on the losing side that night, but yeah, it was a really good experience.
Slightly different atmosphere to here at Lord's, no less important though.
Yeah, it was mad out there. The noise from start to finish is, you know, it's comparable with IPL games and things like that. It's just, you can tell there was such a real hunger for cricket in Pakistan. I think there were 8 games in total in Karachi over the kind of just over a week, and yeah, every game was sold out, well in advance. The stadiums were full, you know, an hour before the start of the game, and it was, yeah, it was an awesome thing to be part of, and I'm glad I went out there and did it, and hopefully I'll get to go back again soon.
Slightly different to playing in front of a home crowd though. Do you think you'd be a little bit more nervous if you were playing in a Royal London final?
I'm not sure. Potentially, obviously, because you're going to have friends and family physically there in the ground. I know it's a strange scenario, because I remember when I went last year to Lahore in the PSL, and a lot of the guys in my team, Pakistani guys, had never played in Pakistan before in a proper kind of televised game, even though they obviously grew up there. You had guys like Babar Azam, Mohammed Amir. They'd never played for Pakistan in Pakistan or a game kind of that magnitude. They played domestic cricket, but it was a strange thing. So at that time, I'd played just as many games as these guys in these big stadiums. But back here at Lord's, it's the end of the over, and Somerset 209 for 4.
Change your bowling. Well done, mate.
Returning at the nursery end. Number 32, Mason Crane.
All gathered together. Somerset players in the home dressing room. Bit of spin back into the attack. A couple of overs left for Mason Crane. He's got some turn out there. Use of the slope as well. That's all he needs to do. Just keep rotating that strike. 35 required from 70 deliveries. They managed to do it. It'll be their first trophy win since 2005, Somerset. In the last 10 years, lots of runners-up awards.
Looks pretty happy with that balcony, doesn't it? Know that they're not too far away now from lifting that trophy.
Josh Davey in the middle there, next to Tom Abel, the captain. Important couple of wickets at the start of the first innings.
A little bit of turn for Mason Crane, but nothing too threatening. Ended the over. Ooh. Apologies. 1 ball still to go.
Glad you're a bowler.
It's one thing with bowlers, you can never count. You always get halfway through the over, you're walking back to your mark and you're saying, is that 2 left, 1 left? No, 3. And you're like, fair enough.
Pierces the gap. The man just bored across to keep that tight. He manages to get it through. 39 overs gone, 5 runs from it. 214 for 4. Welcome along to main event viewers. Here's the match summaries. Hampshire 244, winning the toss, electing to bat first. Fairly modest total. Somerset need 31 more runs to win their first trophy since 2005. Sam Northeast, the standing captain for Hampshire. It's been a tough day for him. Fairly straightforward, it's looking at the moment. For James Hildreth and Bartlett. Hildreth, plenty of experience behind him, on the verge of 50. And Tom Abel looking pretty relaxed. Congratulations are in order for Tranmere, promoted to League One. Close game, that one, extra time.
Yep, last minute winner, 119th. Big weekend for the playoffs. My team, Norwich City, don't have to worry about that. We got promoted back to the Premier League as champions. Been waiting all day to get that out there. Yeah, it carries on tomorrow. Charlton versus Sunderland in the League One playoff final. Sky Sports main event. And the final game of Bank Holiday Monday. Derby versus Aston Villa. The right to go to the Premier League 3 p.m. kickoff, again on Sky Sports main event.
Three players missing from this Hampshire side. No James Vince, no Liam Dawson, no Aidan Markram. Today's just showing what a big blow it has been to players who've scored plenty of runs in Vince and Markram, both for their national sides, and Liam Dawson contributing with wickets and keeping things tight in the middle overs for Hampshire throughout the tournament.
Good bumper from Abbott. It's been important today, all throughout the days. We saw Somerset use it well, Jamie Overton in particular, Craig Overton as well, using their height to generate some extra bounce out the surface. Bill Edwards as well, we saw Peter Trigo real hurry up. Got Azhar Ali out with a short ball as well. Kyle Abbott now testing out the middle of the wicket. To keep the batters on their toes. George Bartlett still finding his way, 5 not out of 9 balls.
Fidel Edwards. Didn't start too well with the ball, leaked a few runs. He's come back in a couple of spells and picked up wickets. Just got 1 over left. Well controlled for a single, 216 for 4.
That completes power play 2.
.29 runs left to win for Somerset now, 60 balls, so plenty of time to do so. It's been an impressive performance all throughout. Jamie Overton, Tom Abel, Josh Davey all taking wickets with the ball. Sam Northeast and James Fuller, the only ones from Hampshire able to get above the score of 50. And since then, Tom Banton's led the way. James Hildreth, as ever, is there. 48 not out.
Power play 3, no more than 5 fielders permitted outside the fielding zone for the remainder.
He's the sort of player I can imagine you feel pretty relaxed in the dressing room when he's at the crease. A bit like Joe Root and Noah Morgan for England.
Yeah, I think they've got the balance of their team, you know, really nice. You've got, even the opening partnership, you've got Tom Banton, kind of the young tearaway that everybody's really excited about, and you've got Azhar Ali, the experienced overseas player with him, just to kind of, you know, level it out. And you have the guys like Trigo and Hildreth in the middle. With Tom Abel, Lewis Gregory, these guys kind of they mix and match really well. They blend. It's not just a bunch of young guys, or on the opposite side, a bunch of kind of older guys, older heads that may be a little bit not with the ways of the last 2 or 3 years. So they've got a really good balance to their side.
Oh, I think was that a drop? Tom Alsop behind the stumps. It's been getting turned. And the reaction of Sam Northeast suggested it was. Well, that's the right thing to do now. You've got to bring fielders into the circle. Required rate is 2.95. And that is met with a beautiful shot down the ground. James Hildreth with a 50 in the Royal London final.
And they're on their feet up on the Somerset balcony, and as they are in the crowd, Rightly so, James Hildreth, ever present for Somerset. Getting his side closer to lifting that trophy. 52 not out from 60 balls, 5 boundaries in there. And all looking very controlled.
Calm and relaxed at the crease. Was able to negotiate a fierce spell from Fidel Edwards early on. Formed a nice partnership with Peter Trigo. Importantly, still there. $223 for 4.
Take a look at his 50 then. Came in, Fidel Edwards was firing, Mason Crane was getting a little bit of turn, but James Hildreth managed to outlast them all, as he has done plenty of times for Somerset over the years. It's been a controlled innings, gluing together the innings in and around everybody else. Getting his team a step closer to winning a Lord's final, what will be the last final here for some time.
Fielders inside the circle, only players out are out deep in on the leg side for the hook. And the third man, everyone else up. Caller 2, might even get 3. Lots of space out there. It's a good effort. And yeah, comfortably 3. Don Bess with the group. James Hildreth was part of the Somerset side, got the winning runs in the 2005 trophy win. Graham Smith was captain. Been around a while. I remember playing some games down in Taunton when just in front, manages to keep it down.
Riley Russo, the man in short at mid-wicket. Another short ball from Kyle Abbott, just looking to work it into the leg side, looking to keep it down. Luckily enough for James Hildreth and Somerset fans, he was able to. Fell just short of Russo at mid-wicket.
I was just about to say, I remember being in Taunton back in the day when James Hildreth was beardless and short-haired. Nicely played again, lovely balance at the crease. It is a gorgeous drive down the ground.
Yeah, beautiful shot from Hildreth, both mid-on and mid-off, both in the ring. With Hampshire having to squeeze and not affording to give easy singles away, but he just leans on it. Perfect timing. Sees that it's going to beat the line of the man at mid-on, Fidel Edwards. And that runs away down to the Lord's Pavilion in front of the Somerset.
Oh, he makes it look very easy. Not able to penetrate the infield on that occasion, but a good over for Somerset. 9 from it, 232 for 4.
$13 more runs to win then for Somerset. 48 balls left, but doesn't look like they're going to be needed. James Hildreth there, 60 not out. Tom Banton was brilliant earlier on in the afternoon, 69 for him. Fidel Edwards taking 3 for 60. Earlier on, Jamie Overton, pick of the bowlers, 3 for 48. Sam North East and James Fuller scoring half centuries, but Hampshire were only able to post 244 from their 50 overs, which looks like it's going to be a fair bit short. Mark Butcher joining me for the end of this innings.
Fuller into the attack, and straight away off to the boundary. Somerset are closing in.
Loosener. James Fuller back into the attack. Short, wide, nothing really on it, and just slapped away. Did well to reach it in the end, George Bartlett.
Well, few would deny them the win on this performance. Had to get to Lords the hard way. Going through the playoff, they dispatched Worcester away from home. Then followed that up with an equally dominant performance against Nottinghamshire at Trent Bridge. And they've peaked at the right time, you would imagine. Where was the game won and lost for you, Tamal?
Well, they left runs out there, didn't they? Sam North East alluded to that when we spoke to him in the interval. Definitely at least 30, probably more 50 short. They managed to get a little flurry to the end with Mason Crane, James Fuller to get them up to 250, but then they started poorly with the ball. They over-attacked, went too full. Instead of following Somerset's lead and bowling, you know, top of the stumps, within the width of the stumps, and searching a little bit. Fair few kind of half volleys, leg stump, and Banton whipped them away, got them off to a flyer, and by then you break the back of the chase, don't you? They were none down after 10 overs, cruising the game, and then they've not really looked in too much trouble since then.
Sympathies for Hampshire in terms of losing Dawson and Vince. I suppose Aidan Markram as well was part of the team. He's off now on duty for South Africa. They've lost a huge part of what's made them successful this year. They also took a gamble, didn't they, Hampshire, in that they decided to bring Chris Wood into the side. It's not a gamble to bring in a player of his experience, but they decided to leave themselves a little bit short in terms of batting. In the end, they've paid for that.
Yeah, we spoke about earlier, when you lose someone like Dawson, something's got to be sacrificed. You're not going to have a genuine all-rounder on your bench, otherwise you'd be in the team, wouldn't he? So you have to pick one way or the other. They chose for the extra bowler. And unfortunately, their top order batters weren't able to fire today, and as you say, they were a fair bit short in the end.
43 gone, 9 to win for Somerset. Well, those that have made their way up, not always an easy journey up to London from the West Country, will have been thoroughly delighted with what they've seen. It is one of the great county clubs, Somerset. They support their team through thick and thin. Great crowds always at home at Taunton. And they've waited a long time for a day like this. So close on so many occasions. 10 times runners-up. Haven't had a trophy to sing and dance and shout about since 2005. It looks as though today is going to be their day, and as we spoke about, in the opening to this show this morning that it could be the start of a torrent of them, as this team, which is packed with experience like James Hildreth and young talent like Tom Banton, are coming of age. Four more, ever closer.
Fidel Edwards back into the attack, follows suit of James Fuller over previous, short wide outside the off stump, unfortunately for the Hampshire. And that's easy pickings for the batsman. No man out of the deep cover boundary. 5 away now.
Brilliant from James Hildreth. As calm as you like. He brings the scores level.
Almost there, one more now for Somerset. Just timed brilliantly from Hildreth. Didn't look to overhit it, just bunted it into the leg side, but straight out of the middle of that bat. One more run there, bubbling on the balcony.
There it is. Somerset have broken the duck. 10 times the bridesmaid. James Hildreth was there at the end, the last time they won a trophy at the Oval against Lancashire in 2005, and he is there once again as Somerset get themselves over the line emphatically to defeat the reigning champions Hampshire in what is the last ever Lord's final.
Look what it means to all the guys on the balcony. James Hildreth, fist pumped to the ground. Means a lot to them. It's been a long time since they've won a tournament. They've lost plenty of finals, come second place many times. Today is their day. See what it means to them. Peter Trigo, been there for a lot of them. Tom Abel, the young captain, he was brilliant today. Led his team well in the field, picked up a few wickets himself. An all-round brilliant performance from Somerset.
69 not out for James Hildreth. Peter Trigo gets his hands on some silverware finally. And you're right, Tom Abel absolutely delighted to be in the midst of that melee in the dressing room. They have finally got over the line. Marcus Trescothick, watching on his sickbed at home, will be bouncing up and down, no doubt. And could this be the beginning of something special for Somerset County Cricket Club? The first Lord's final county cricket was 1963. That was won by Sussex, and the last 56 years later has been won by Somerset. Hampshire, in truth, worthy champions as they have been, who were not at the races at all today. Perhaps the call at the toss was a definitive one. Sam Northeast standing in for James Vince, deciding to bat first on a green-looking surface. I think it was a calculated gamble, and one that in the end didn't pay off for him and his side. They've played excellent cricket throughout the tournament this year. They've been the most consistent side in the tournament, but in the end it was one match too far, and perhaps 2 or 3 players too few, and they ran into a Somerset team who are brimming with confidence in all forms of the game. And under their young captain, finally picked up the winner's trophy.
Banton. Azhar Ali. Peter Trago. James Hildreth. George Bartlett. Lewis Gregory. Roland van der Merwe. Craig Overton. Jamie Overton. Josh Davey. And now squad players, Steve Davis. Tim Grevald. Dom Bess. And lastly, for a few words, Captain Tom Abel.
Smile on your face. 14 years since Somerset last lifted some silverware. I can see you're a little bit emotional as well. Just what does this mean to you?
It means the absolute world, and to this team, you know, it means everything, and to our supporters and everyone associated with the club, you know, it's absolutely everything. It's very surreal to be standing here as winners, you know, and unfortunately, one side has to lose on the day, and so I feel for Hampshire, but luckily for us, it was our day today.
You've had a strong squad of 13. You haven't really had to change from that too much. Do you think that's what's been your successful side of things this season, the fact that you haven't had to bring people in and out?
I think you always strive for that continuity, but injuries and things like that can happen. As we say, this team and this squad is phenomenal, and you know, I'm just delighted for everyone really that we could get the win today.
Nice blend of youth and experience as well. How important was it to have guys like Peter Trago and James Hildreth in the middle there when it did get a little bit wobbly after such a strong start?
Yeah, those experienced guys, you know, once again, they showed their class on the big stage, and we've been blessed that our younger lads, you know, that's supremely talented, they've really stepped up on the big stage and show what they're all about. So, guys, you know, individuals have stepped up at different times, and you look at our squad and our side, and, you know, I think it's a really good side moving forward as well.
And what about the team performance in the field today? I mean, everything you seem to do is turned to gold, including your own bowling performance.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it's obviously nice to contribute, and that's something that we certainly pride ourselves on. And today we were able to get wickets up front, and then I think we managed to create a lot of pressure through the middle overs, and our bowling unit's been fantastic right the way through the competition, and today was no different.
A word for the Somerset fans who have travelled all the way here today?
Best fans in the country. They follow us up and down the country, home and away. And as I say, I know how much it means to people of Somerset, and you know, we've been runners up quite a few times, so it's nice to change that and get over the line this year.
I think a few siders down by now. You can go and enjoy yourself with the rest of the boys. You can lift the trophy now, enjoy the celebrations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the Royal London One Day Cup, Somerset.
Well, what an amazing moment for all those players. They're a wonderful mix of youth and experience. You could see the emotion on the captain's face there at the presentation. Tom Abel had a terrific day himself, but there's two of the more experienced players that remember this day for a long, long time. James Hildreth, who hit the winning runs, and Peter Trago, a real character. He came and joined us, what, 5 or 10 minutes ago, just to give us a clue, really, of what it means to him and all of those players. Some of those players have waited 10 years for this moment. Their last trophy in the T20 back in 2005. Taunton born, Taunton educated there, the man in the middle with the trophy. It might get a little messy later on, Mark Butcher.
Yeah, I should imagine so. Listen, they've made a bit of history there. I'm not talking about the finally breaking the duck of getting over the line and winning. I'm talking about perhaps being the last team to hoist a trophy here in this type of competition, list A competition at Lord's. They'll be remembered forever in much the same way as the guys who won the first one back in '63 were. Sussex.
Absolute star today, certainly played his part, not only today, but of course throughout the competition, a couple of hundreds. Now then, something's going to happen. Hold your breath. Well, that's great to see. Players there and getting full support, as you'd expect, from a very loyal crowd down in Taunton.
All right, guys, go! Drive! Get it in the drive! Shredding in June. Thank you.
Good day to you all. Boise here. Now this is just a quick message for all you wonderful Somerset cricketers for winning the Royal London Cup in such stunning fashion. Congratulations! Next stop, the Championship. Via a Triscothic triple century, of course. You know it makes sense. Cheers and good luck.
To all the Somerset fans, to all the players, a massive congratulations. I know how much this must mean to you. Having been there for 5 fantastic years myself, got to 2 finals and fallen at the final hurdle, I know how much that hurts. So to see you guys get over the line, Andy Hurry, Jason Kerr, and of course Tom Abel, congratulations guys. I really feel incredibly proud. I'm sure all the fans are having a wonderful time celebrating this with you. And to teammates Hildy and Triggs, who I enjoyed some great times with, well done guys for sticking it out. The perseverance you've shown, the professionalism has been great to support and watch. I really think you guys can go on and win the championship too, so I'll be watching closely.
Hi, it's Charlie Taylor here from BBC Somerset's Cricket Show and the Cricket Show Extras podcast. I just want to say a massive well done to Somerset County Cricket Club. What an amazing achievement to win the trophy on Saturday. You gave us an amazing day out. We loved going to Lord's on Saturday with you. Being amongst the fans, going into the commentary box, just seeing how much it meant to everyone was incredible. Your group stage was mostly brilliant. There were a few little results that didn't quite go the right way, but it was enough to get through. And then the knockout games, from the quarter-final, the semi-final and the final itself, you were dominant. So congratulations. Well done in particular, Tom Abel. You led your team really well. But for the rest of the team, congratulations. You've done the county proud.
Congratulations, lads. That was a terrific performance, a real team effort, everyone contributing. You're a pleasure to commentate on, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season like never before. Could be very special.
Hey boys, Mibes here. Now that was a performance, awesome stuff, well done. Just wanted to say congratulations, well deserved. I obviously know what goes on behind the scenes and how hard you guys work, but a terrific performance on the day, absolutely special stuff and something you'll remember for a long time. Also very special, Trigo running 4. I did see that, so proved that I watched the game. I was there. First game I watched live for a very long time. Well worth it. Very proud of you guys. Awesome stuff.
G'day Somerset, greetings and congratulations from a very proud former captain of the club. It was great to follow from afar and really see that you guys have won another Lord's Trophy. It brought back some great memories of 2001, whilst the game itself doesn't bring back a lot of memories for me. One thing I do very fondly remember was how much pleasure it brought to our fans and those that have been associated with the club for a long period of time. So I really hope you get the chance to savour it, to soak it in and just take the time to really enjoy a very special achievement.
Hi boys, this is a massive congratulations for last weekend. Somerset is a unique club, as you know, and it's a huge honour for me to have played for them. But I'm so delighted for every one of you, and that means every staff member, from Jace at the top, Sarge, all the way down to the catering staff, the ground staff, the cleaners, especially coaches and new players. It's an honour to play for Somerset, and I'm so happy for you all. Well done, man.
Congratulations to Jason and to Tom and to everyone at Somerset for winning the One Day Cup. You should be proud of not only winning the title, but the way you played the game and went about it. There's some fantastic people within the organisation, and you should be very proud of what you've achieved. Good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully that elusive county championship is within your grasp this year. Wishing you all the best.